No, seriously, this is the kind of drone that I can bring with me anywhere. Okay, so a lot of people don't know that I've really focused on making my gear more portable, and this way I can take it with me everywhere. And this super cool looking drone has been awesome. This is the Skyrover X1, and it's a compact and very lightweight drone. It's actually under 249 grams, which is a little bit over a half a pound. And you would think that this means you have to give up on a lot of features, but instead it has a 1/1.32-inch sensor with a f1.7 aperture. So you're getting good image quality and you're getting good low light performance. We'll talk about this more later on. You can shoot HDR video at up to 4K 60, which is plenty of resolution. And if you want slow motion, you can actually go up to 4K 100 frames per second. Now, one of my favorite features is that you can actually rotate the camera and film vertical content instead of having to crop into the horizontal frame. There are also some super important safety features and a lot of great intelligent shooting modes, so let's get to it. Now, a lot of people ask me about this, but one of the most important things to me with the drone is good obstacle avoidance. I'm very, very careful when I pilot a drone. And at the same time, there are situations where the drone is pretty far away from me. And if I'm flying around a building or a tree, I don't really have great depth perception, again, at this distance. The Skyrover X1 has 4 fisheye vision sensors, so 2 facing the front and 2 facing the back. Plus there are 2 sensors on the bottom. So you're getting obstacle avoidance in every direction. And I actually purposely tried to hit some trees with it. Like I was flying right at the tree. I was flying forward and backward, and I was never able to do it. You can tell the drone what you want it to do when it sees an obstacle. So do you want it to brake or do you want it to bypass, like to go around the object? And then of course you can turn this feature off, but I never do. There's also an on-screen display that shows you the distance to any close object, which is super helpful. Now, I mentioned the drone being far away at times, and the X1 uses a transmission system called Skybridge. The live view that you see on your device is 1080p 60, which is plenty, and Skybridge is rated for up to 15 kilometers or over 9 miles. And this is another super important feature to me because if you lose transmission with your drone and your drone is out of view, it's going to be pretty much impossible to get it to fly back to where you were. And that actually brings me to another safety feature, which is return to home. And that means that if for some reason you're unable to navigate the drone yourself, you just tap a button and the drone will go up to the height that you have in the settings and then fly back to the original takeoff spot. And this feature still supports full obstacle avoidance. Now, a lot of my content is horizontal, but I've been making more and more short form content on YouTube and on other platforms. And that means that a lot of times I have to take my horizontal footage and crop it. The X1 has a vertical shooting mode where the camera rotates on the gimbal, so I actually get to use the full resolution. And this also means that I can zoom in without losing quality. Now, setup was super easy. I just installed the app, popped in the battery, connected my phone to the controller, and then turned the drone and the controller on. That's it. The X1 was automatically detected and I was good to go. The flying experience has been great and the X1 is super stable. Even flying by the lake where the winds were pretty high, it had no issues. I was using the larger bundle, which comes with 3 batteries and a charger. So each battery is rated for up to 32 minutes. And I only needed 1 USB-C cable to charge all 3 using the charger. And by the way, take it from me, always bring more than 1 battery with you. A 32-minute rating is great, but it's always great to have at least 1 spare. I mean, you don't want to miss a shot because you don't have enough battery life. One of the super handy features that I used all the time is tracking. So the drone would either auto detect items that it recognizes and then put a little green plus next to them, or I could just draw a square around any object that I wanted it to track and it would work great. There are a couple of modes here. You can either spotlight something so the drone stays right where it is and then follows the object from that one perspective. And it was actually pretty cool to see that it was able to keep track of the car even when it was going behind trees. Another option is you can have the drone follow the car and stay in the same position the whole way. And I love having the confidence that I have full obstacle avoidance while the drone is tracking the car. And you can even have the drone orbit around the object while it's following it, which kind of gives you some unique perspectives. Now, I'm saying car, but that's just an example. I also jumped on a scooter to see if the drone would be able to keep up, and it was able to follow me without a problem. And this type of automated feature allows me to get shots that I just would never be able to get on my own. I started flying drones over 8 years ago, and I love controlling the drone, but there are times where I may want to automate some shots, and the X1 has a ton of intelligent flying features. The one that I use the most is the ability to orbit an object. You literally just draw a square around it, position the drone where you want it to be, and then choose the direction and the speed. The X1 does all the hard work for you. And this would be very difficult to do smoothly if you're doing it manually because you have to keep your distance and speed consistent while panning the drone. It's so much easier to just let the X1 do it for you. A few other examples of this are a drone where the drone flies up and away to reveal the subject and more of the scene. There's also a rocket mode where the drone flies straight up, but then at the same time, it tilts the camera down to keep the subject in frame. And there are even more modes available, and they're super easy to use. Now, something else to consider whenever you're looking at any product that uses a camera is low light performance. And the X1 did a really good job, and the LEDs made it super easy to see even at a distance. There's also a dedicated night mode for when it's really dark outside, which is a nice feature to have. Overall, I love how small and portable the Skyrover X1 is. It folds down into practically nothing, and it's definitely a drone that I'll be bringing with me when I travel and on my day in the life videos. I like that everything that I need, including the extra batteries and the charger, fit right into this small bag that was part of the bundle that I got. And if you want to get your own and you want 20% off, I put a code in the description. So just click the link and you can get the Skyrover X1 for $608. You know what I always say? Buy it nice or buy it twice. Good luck and see you soon.